Joshua Media.
Hey guys. So, if you could have any possession of mine, what would it be? That was the question I asked you on Twitter, and I'm making them available in this video. I've been thinking about how I can contribute to the world on a larger scale. Because back in the day, I used to study a lot of biology and chemistry. I was on this pre-med route. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to do Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders, it's simplest way to put it is you go to countries that need your help, and you're there to help the people. I obviously I changed my mind. Somewhere down the road, I chose a different path for my life. I've always had these big ideas of, how to change the world, to cure poverty and pollution at the same time. And one of the ideas was actually to one day form a company that can hire the homeless to help clean up the city. So now the unemployed are employed, and the cities are being cleaned up, and it can grow into a global scale. But ever since I changed my path towards entertainment, for like the longest time, I wasn't even making enough money to pay for my next meal. And if I can't even pay for my own meal, how am I going to start a company to change the world? And then you helped me realize that maybe I've been looking at all this from the wrong angle. I needed a different perspective. Maybe it wasn't about changing the world. Maybe it was just about changing someone else's world. And it didn't really hit me until I started getting messages every single day. Just Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, here on YouTube. Messages about anything and everything. Siblings who've hated each other their entire lives somehow connected over watching one of my videos, and now they're best friends. Or you're contemplating suicide and watching one of my videos helped change your mind. That's incredible. I was just being a goofball making videos. I wasn't expecting to change anybody's lives. I feel bad. I feel terrible that I can only respond to some of your comments and messages, because I know how it feels to be ignored or rejected. It sucks. It sucks is putting it lightly. To finally muster up enough courage to approach someone or to message someone that you've been wanting to talk to, and then silence. Or worse yet, the person you've been looking forward to talking to this entire time turns out to be a complete butthole. The person that you spent so much money to see and woke up at 5 in the morning just to wait in line for 3 hours in the scorching sun just to take some crap picture, and they don't even have the decency to look you in the eyes and say thank you or hug you with both arms. What'd you do all that for? 2-second mind-blowing experience of your hero sucks? And I don't want to become that guy. I never want to become that guy. It's hard to reply to every message and comment that I get. If we're looking at every social media, that's hundreds of messages and comments per day. And the thing is, some of these platforms, it gets to the point where my notifications get refreshed after so many messages or so many hours. Someone can send me a comment or message right after I fell asleep, and by the time I wake up, it's already gone. And I feel terrible about that. I'd love to get to know you and meet you. And so, the things I post, the videos I make, the songs I write, I'm hoping that can make up for the lack of personal connection between us. I can't always be there for you, but maybe the stuff I make can. So I've been thinking about how I can, help more people. So far I feel like I've been doing things on a smaller scale. Sometimes I'll come across an artist or band that deserves a lot more exposure, and I'll donate to their Kickstarter or tweet one of their songs out, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, thank you so much! You've gotten us more exposure than our whole lives!" I was thinking, how can I contribute on a larger scale? And the idea came up of, what if I just raised funds for charity? And yeah, I make guest appearances at charity events and promote other charities through my social media, but I was thinking more of along the lines funding it myself. And I don't mean little donations here and there where I, go grocery shopping and donate $1. I'm talking about like heaps of donations, like money that I don't even have. And then it dawned on me, what if I just sold everything? If I just sold everything I had, all of my musical equipment, all of my sports gear, all of my childhood toys, all of my clothes, my car, even my YouTube props. If I sold everything I had, I could raise some serious dough for charity. So that's exactly what I'm about to do. Everything I show you in the rest of this video, I'm going to put up for sale. My first guitar, which my mom went guitar shopping with me. This was my guitar when my best friends and I started a rock band in 9th grade. Wrote most of my first songs on this guitar, and the first song I ever learned was by a band, brand new, called The Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows. And that little part with the da-na-na-na-na took me like weeks to learn when I was in the 9th grade. And back then I was like, if I can just learn this one part, I'll be satisfied forever. I used to throw this guitar over my shoulder a lot to do these guitar flips. And one day the strap ripped and it flew into my wall, and there's still a big hole in my wall from that. That's the tale of my Fender Stratocaster. And so begins my second guitar. Well, it was my first 7-string guitar. This is a Schecter Diamond series that was made in the 80s. And at the time of the purchase, it was one of the last to be made out of mahogany wood. My guitar teacher at the time, this is in 10th grade now, he was like, "Josh, I found you a guitar. Just for you." And it wasn't just, the brand. Like, it was this specific guitar that he saw on the window in a pawn shop. And they have no idea how much it's actually worth. Go there, buy it now. And I was like, I don't have money. Go there, buy it now. My mom and I go searching for this guitar in a window of a random pawn shop that we have never seen before. I felt like King Arthur of Camelot questing for the sword and stone. My mom was my Merlin. So we walked past this shop so many times before we realized the guitar is right in front of us. And when we see the price tag, we were just like, oh, that's a lot of money. So like, we didn't have enough money for the guitar. So we were like plotting like outside the store. My mom and I were all like, okay, let's wrap the $1 bills on the outside to put an emphasis on the fact that we're really poor. But we go into the store to try to haggle with the owner of the shop to lower the price. We're like, oh, well, this is all we have. Can you sell it? And the shop owner was actually really generous, and he took every dollar bill we had. And afterwards, I was the only kid in high school with a 7-string guitar, and I started writing and performing songs with this thing. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. What you just saw in the previous clip to now, in between, I actually rolled over to my bed and fell asleep. I just woke up. This is my first bass guitar, and it was given to me from a friend in high school, and all of the bass lines for my songs were written on this baby. When my friends and I first started our rock band in high school, I was actually the bassist until our guitarist had to leave the band because he was performing on tour with his other band. This is the amp that I always use. This is the amp that I just almost broke my foot with, and it was also the amp that I always performed with. I also have a Fender amp that I used to use all the time for every band practice, which were, held in our drummer's garage. Our drummer and I would walk to his house every day after school just to have band practice in his garage. That's such a typical rock band thing to do. This is the floor pedal that I will use for all of my effects. There's no story behind it, I just stepped on it a lot. This is my first acoustic guitar. It is a Mitchell. So this guitar actually exchanged hands a bunch of times. It was a hand-me-down guitar that went from one friend to another because our circle just had a bunch of guitarists. And before it got to me, it was actually broken right here. If you look closely, you can see the cracks. This entire section right here was broken and bent over. And nobody wanted it because they couldn't fix it. And I was sitting there like, well, super glue? Ended up getting concrete glue that just like holds thousands of pounds of force and glued it back together, and it started working perfectly again. It couldn't tune before, but now holds the tune just fine. Fact! This is the guitar I used for my Darkwing Duck song, and that's actually I think the most watched video on my channel. I have had a lot of late night songwriting sessions with this one right here. This one is my Taylor. This is the one that I use for a lot of my broadcasts and performances. I also had this in my most recent YouTube video with the Thanksgiving parody songs, and a lot of my recent songs were written with this thing right here. This ghetto sound box and my microphone is what I use for recording all my songs and voiceovers in my cartoons. I don't know why you requested this dartboard, but it's in the back of a lot of my videos, and friends use it all the time when they come over, and their aim is terrible, so they never hit the actual board, they just hit my wall that's behind the board. In fact, I had a painting that was next to this dartboard, which was, you know, a poor decision on my end. I had a friend who wanted to throw darts backwards. He wouldn't do it when I was, you know, watching him. He would do it when I walked into the other room. So, yes, he's the one who always hit my painting with darts. And this is a jamstick. It's like a little portable guitar, electronic guitar that you can connect to an app on your phone and just play after school, put it in your backpack. The app also has this Guitar Hero-like mode that teaches you how to play guitar instead of just pressing 5 buttons. Da, 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 da. Check it out, that's my violin. Yes, it came in sexy black. Scentbird will be on sale, and so will Pikachu. For like $10,000! That's just my loophole around not selling Pikachu, because I know nobody will be crazy enough to pay $10,000 for Pikachu. I guess I'll sell my Beats headphones, which I bought on the street in Taiwan, so I don't know if this pair is actually legit or not. I also have the suitcase full of little, you know, mystery baggies that I had packed as gifts for friends when I came back from Taiwan. But that was over 7 years ago, and I still haven't given it to any of them. So I guess I'll just sell mystery bags from Taiwan. And lastly, my clothes. You know, I've been wearing these ever since high school because I stopped growing. Since high school. This hoodie right here, I've been wearing since 9th grade. I had so many hoodies in high school. It's like one for every day. This was like my whatever Wednesday hoodie. And so I'm gonna try to sell everything I have and send the profits over to charity. Anyway, I'll be putting all of these things on this app called Depop. If you want to check them out and pick something up, you're totally welcome. Everything will be there, including this hoodie. The link to the app with all the items will be in the description box below. You know that thing you gotta tap on your phone to open. As always, thank you so much for watching. Love you, bagels. Stay healthy to live long enough to piss on the graves of your enemies.